Hey guys, welcome to the Captain Fizz and Mask Guy show. Tonight on the show, we'll be talking about our experiences at the Central Canada Comic Con, better known as C4 here in Winnipeg, and we'll be talking about Movember, and I don't know what else we damn well feel like. So you know what? Sit back, listen to some music. We'll be back in a moment.
Welcome back to the Captain Fizz and Mask Guy show. Of course, I am Captain Fizz.
And greetings once again from the 7th Moon of Thunder. I am that Mask Guy.
We have a extremely jam-bustered show tonight. So much to talk about, so little time.
Yes, absolutely.
I do find it really ironic, like, as I said, we have a lot to talk about, but before the show even started, we were sitting there watching the brand new Ghostbusters movie, and we're not all the way through it. Of course, I have to bring this up. Two very specters. You actually enjoyed it. I personally would rather watch Paint and Dry.
Well, this was the extended edition, and I can honestly say that I preferred the theatrical version over this. I can understand now why a lot of the stuff was left out.
Yeah, and I find with anything involving Melissa McCarthy or whatever the hell you want to call her, it's extremely dry humor that makes absolutely no sense. And I don't know if it's how she delivers it or the script they give to her or what it is, but I really am not a fan of her work. And I feel, and I know you don't agree with me, but we're entitled to our
99% of the stuff that Melissa McCarthy has done in recent years, I have not been a fan of. In fact, I think the last time I actually enjoyed something that she did was in St. Vincent, where she played straight man to Bill Murray. And before that, you probably would have to go back to Gilmore Girls. And I probably only saw maybe one episode of that show, and she was in it for all of 5 minutes. And that was the best 5 minutes of Melissa McCarthy's entire acting career.
Yeah, and I found this movie in itself, I think if anything, I know they were trying to be very serious and, distance themselves from the original Ghostbusters, but they really found a way to, I'm not necessarily piss people off, but to really come out as making fun of everything that came beforehand, which I don't know if it was intentional or just the way it's coming across, but to me that's how it seems.
It's just the way it was coming across. Won't give away too much because you haven't seen the full one, but all three surviving members of the original Ghostbusters are in this movie. They do have near the beginning of the movie, there is a bust of Harold Ramis that's in a university scene. So they did manage to find a way to bring in every one of them. And Sigourney Weaver also has a brief cameo in it as well. Rick Moranis is the only one member or major member of the original cast who didn't come back, and when asked why, he said he just didn't see the point. Not as any disrespect to it, but he didn't see what they were offering him didn't make a lot of sense to him, so he passed on.
When originally heard that the original Ghostbusters was going to be in the new Ghostbusters, I assumed it was on a role of passing the torch. Not so much in the role that they actually put them in, and I think that was a mockery to what these guys, did in the original Ghostbusters.
What? I'm gonna argue with you on that just because you haven't seen the full movie. Dan Aykroyd's part in it is just absolutely hilarious, just for the simple fact that I don't want to give away too much, but he is kind of like a Brooklyn version of himself. in that, I mean, he goes off and he has like a one-liner, which is absolutely hilarious and shows just how intelligent, he really is. Bill Murray's character in it, who's a debunker, is just absolutely great. I thought it was the perfect cameo for him. And if you go up and you see some of the scene near the end of the movie during the credits, Sigourney Weaver has an awesome cameo in there as well.
See, with the greatness that these guys did with the original Ghostbusters, they deserved a hell of a lot more than just little cameos that were complete opposites of the parts that they were best known as. I think it's a shot at them in one way or another, whether intentionally or not.
Okay, first off, you are going off. You view this as being shots at them, but I guarantee you, Bill Murray, who you have to call 1-800 number to go on and try to sell him on the role you want him to play, would not have taken this movie if he had considered it an insult. Dan Aykroyd when his role in the movie, which, I mean, he was on screen for all of maybe a minute. I mean, I almost guarantee you he probably wrote his own dialogue for his part. And Sigourney Weaver is just freaking awesome, but she's like awesome anyways. So I can't honestly say that, I mean, this is a slap in the face to any of them. If anything, this is a really great tribute to these characters. Would I have preferred to see a movie where the originals were passing the torch on to someone else? Absolutely. But my biggest problem is the theatrical version of this movie just was not given, a chance because of people like yourself and like myself originally, who were coming out and lambasting this movie before it even came out in theaters.
Yeah, say, hey, whoa. I'm lambasting it now after it's already out in theaters and, and all that. I just don't see the necessity for a remake of this sort. Why remake a classic?
And it comes down to a number of reasons, not the least of which is that there is no original ideas. It is a proven fact that every story ever written can be based from 7 different stories. And so eventually you are going to get a retelling of a story somewhere along the line.
Case in point, Jumanji being remade by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Chris Rock.
How about Rob Zombie's version of Halloween that came out a few years ago?
Which was actually better than the original. It's the one exception to the rule.
I mean, it doesn't happen very often, but case in point. And so, I mean, eventually, I mean, most remakes don't live up to the original. Some are better.
95% of remakes do not live up to the original.
It's hard to go off and argue with that, particularly the horror genre. That seems to be, I mean, anything with Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, have really just kind of fallen on their face. This movie, again, I think I'm not going to say it was as good as the original Ghostbusters, but it was better than Ghostbusters 2.
Okay, Ghostbusters 2 is better than this, in my opinion.
I have to completely disagree with you.
And that's why we do this show.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of the fun for us. I mean, come on here and just kind of argue everything.
So we will move into our next subject, which is a very good subject, I might add. It is Movember.
It is, yeah.
And after the show, we will be posting a picture of us both with very freshly shaved beards, which is driving me nuts.
Despite the fact that this is called the Captain Fizz and Mask Guy show, I have somehow allowed myself to be pictured without my mask.
Dude, there was a lot of pictures this weekend with no masks on. I was the one with the mask, which was weird, but for once. But yeah, so we have shaved our beards off, and we will be documenting it for the next month of the growth, which I think is going to be quite entertaining.
I am just growing a mustache, which I have a really feeling I'm going to look like a really fat, 1970s porn star by the time we're done this month.
How you doing?
How you doing? Yeah, exactly. So,
well, I definitely look forward to this. I'm kind of a little curious on how mine's going to grow in. I think it's going to be quite epic. Most things the captain does is either a royal fail or quite epic. So we got that to look forward to. So we are actually on. If you go on your phones, there is a Movember app. You can actually join our team if you want. It's the Fizz Mash Show, as the team name. So definitely give us a show. We'll be posting pictures probably. I will be posting pictures on a daily basis for sure.
At the very least, I'll be posing for a picture with you every Tuesday.
Yes.
Which will be posted on our Facebook page.
Yeah, so definitely. So we look forward to all of you actually doing the same as well, joining us in this journey, and it's a great journey for men's health.
Yeah, we are doing this to bring awareness to men's health, not just cancer, but a lot of the issues that are health issues standing with men.
And there's a very interesting question just brought up, and I think I'll let you cover this one here.
Oh God, what the hell are you doing? Does no shave November include manscaping? Weem, you sick freak. The answer is no.
Shaving your beard or mustache in a certain artistic flair, it is classified as manscaping. So in that general case, if that's the way you're talking, Weem, and I'm really hoping you are, yes, it does count.
I don't think that's what he means at all.
Bastard.
He is a sick bastard, and that's why we love him.
Yeah, so definitely follow us on there. Don't be afraid to show your picture on our Facebook group, which we'll be sharing later. And it's awesome things to do.
Awesome. Everything is awesome.
The song is actually stuck in my head because of this weekend. And I'll get a little bit more into that. I think what we'll do is actually, I know we're 12 minutes in or so. We'll take a quick music break now, and then we'll go back. We'll talk about the C4 Comic-Con this past weekend, which was awesome and unbelievable. So
I think we'll definitely in the second half of the show. I'm going to kind of sit back and let you take the lead on this.
It was definitely an interesting experience on my part.
Yeah, absolutely. You actually went dressed up.
Yes.
And so you have some great stories to bring along. So
what I'll do is I'll do some music first. We'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more. Hey guys, welcome back to the Captain Fizz and Mask Guy
Captain
show.
Fizz and Mask Guy show.
So this last weekend was C4. We both had the pleasure of going on Sunday, which was absolutely unbelievable. I got to see things from so many different perspectives in such a short period of time. So really, really awesome. I decided to showcase on Sunday as Shredder. And usually I haven't actually dressed up at Comic-Con for quite a few years, just for personal reasons and things like that. But this was actually the first year that I'm used to. We go up to people, we ask for pictures, we kind of drool over the costumes. This is the first year that I was that person. I had quite a few people walk up to me, ask for pictures, we posed for pictures, and it was really, really it stuck with me as that point of, as I'm just walking, people are like, oh, I love your costume. Can I take a picture? You'll fit in, with us, and things like that, right? I think one of the most iconic pictures I actually took of this weekend was with my nephew. He was dressed up as a dead Jedi, kind of like a Sith Lord of sort, right?
His story is that he was Emperor Palpatine. And Palpatine, and the backstory was that Palpatine kills Chewbacca, and Luke Skywalker, in a fit of rage, kills him.